We got so sick and tired of being treated like rich Americans, we had to start doing this. Hello and welcome to our Retire Early lifestyle. Some of this information is going to shock you today. We talk about the things that no one else dares to talk about in fear of losing their views. We have never favored the growth of the channel over telling you how things really are, because you need to know this stuff if you're going to move abroad. So let's get started. Did you know that it doesn't matter how much money you have when you go abroad as a tourist or live as an expat? You're still considered a rich foreigner, especially if you're from America. To the locals in these countries Americans are flocking to, they can't distinguish between an American that makes $500,000 or $50,000. To the rest of the world, America has always been seen as one of the richest countries with some of the highest average income levels in the world. The USA comes in like 5th place for highest incomes in the world. So now look at the top 10 countries Americans are moving to. In this video, I put their yearly average income levels so you can put everything into a better perspective, okay? Here are the top 10 countries that Americans are moving to and the income levels of those countries. This is the average income level. Some may be lower incomes and some may be higher. This is the average. Okay, and so we know that the average American income is $70,000, somewhere around there, $70,000 to $80,000. The locals that live in these countries do not really know your financial means in life, meaning all they know, especially in the lesser developed countries, is that you make a whole lot more than they do. So what does that mean? Unless you tell them. It means the profile of the rich American is so entrenched within the society of other countries that they assume all Americans are wealthy, at least more wealthy than they are. And it doesn't matter your station in life compared to the other Americans either. The smaller income guy looks just like the huge income guy to people in other countries. You could be walking down the street, no one would know that you may be on a social security of, say, $1,000 per month. All they see is you're an American. Do you get it? The country of America, on all accounts, appears to be affluent, and it's because the affluent lifestyles appear to be plentiful in America. The clue here is appear. It looks like people own big nice homes in the big nice suburbs on big plots of land. They have 2 big new SUVs in the driveway. They take vacations abroad, and when they eat out, they leave big tips. They talk big, wear lots of gold-colored jewelry, and sometimes they carelessly boast about their station in life after a few, if you know what I mean. At least that's what is portrayed in the movies. The thing is, locals don't know that many Americans traveling to their country may be in debt and are living from paycheck to paycheck just to keep up their appearance of abundance, or they are living on a small social security check. They don't know these things unless you tell them. The stereotype that all Americans are rich doesn't seem to be going away either. When we used to help expats, many times the rental agents would want to take us to $950 and $1,200 rental apartments and houses when our American clients' budget was under $500 for rent. They see all the Americans and automatically assume things that aren't accurate, and this happens all the time when you live abroad. We had to personally come out and tell the Ecuadorian landlords that many of the Americans we were helping were moving to Ecuador on a permanent basis, and so they do not want the tourist price or the foreigner price, please. They were nice about it, and in many cases they would only try to gouge us for $25 to $50, which is still more than what the locals were paying, but we went along with the small gouging on some of the rentals, give or take. That's just the way it is when you go abroad. Even when you think you're getting the local price, it still has a markup, but not enough to fuss over. It's like the medical and dental tourism in Ecuador. I bet you didn't know that you're getting gringoed. All of it is way overpriced for the Americans, and it keeps going higher and higher, and it's because Americans compare to the medical and dental back home to that of the country they moved to. Whichever country it is, it's all the same. Medical and dental in Ecuador. Medical and dental in Panama. Medical and dental tourism in Spain, in Portugal, in Italy. And unfortunately, the prices continue to go higher and higher because there's always a foreigner willing to pay more than you. Our secret is to just stay out of it by going to a dentist that doesn't speak English, and we pay less than half the price of what an English-speaking Ecuadorian dentist would charge foreigners that were recommending such to each other. We know because we asked expats how much they paid to have a filling or a tooth pulled, and it was multiples of what we paid when we lived in Ecuador. The thing is, over the years, we learned certain ways to behave that pretty much guarantees we can stay out of that gringo bubble of overpricing. Everyone knows there's two prices abroad, the foreigner's price and the local's price. Which do you want to pay? If we want the locals to stop treating us like we're rich foreigners, then we have to stop behaving like rich foreigners. It's really a simple concept. On the other hand, if you are one of those rich ones, you probably aren't watching this video. Then again, I've seen millionaires get upset when they're told that the gringo prices are for them, not for the average American that is trying to live better on less. Go figure. Even the millionaires don't want to get gringoed. Unfortunately, though, they're the ones that are least likely to make a bother of seeking out the local prices, since they will be buying the most expensive properties in the most exclusive gringo enclaves using bilingual real estate agents. Living in penthouses and high-priced rentals, and pretty much just looking down on the rest of us as penny pinchers. And this is the crux of the matter. There are us and there are them. But to the locals, we're all them. Unless we make that effort. Because if you don't make that effort, it will be assumed you are one of them. One of the millionaires. So let us help you with that. There are things we do verbally, and there are mannerisms and behaviors that signal certain things. Here's what we've always been doing, and it works. Number one, we let them know we're not tourists, we're permanent residents. That tells them right off the bat that since you live there, you're probably privy to the real prices too. So anytime there are no prices on something and a foreigner walks in, bingo, you could be gringoed. But if you talk to them, be nice about it and let them know you're not a tourist. You live here, you know what the prices are. Even so, it doesn't mean they will reduce the price immediately. You may have to try on several different attempts or avoid some merchants altogether. Number two, attire that blends in. Some people think that this means to dress down, and it doesn't necessarily mean that, but you don't want to be loud in your overall appearance either. What are loud clothes, you may be wondering? Hey, look at me. I'm abroad now, and so I'm going to wear a Panama hat and a Hawaiian shirt. Of course, that screams tourist, and it also screams that person doesn't really know anything, because those are the most likely to be targeted. Look at how the locals on the street dress and mimic that. If the locals aren't wearing Panama hats or Hawaiian shirts, you probably don't want to do it either. Number three, walking around with purses, wallets, and jewels. This is being showy. Americans have big name brand purses hanging from their necks. Some of them wear dangling golden earrings and expensive Swiss watches. We once had a local real estate agent whom we were courting for local prices balk at us, pointing at the American that was wearing a Rolex, asking for a local price. Many of the Ecuadorians never used a purse, and so I just quit using mine too. Too many purses getting stolen abroad because, of course, inside that purse is all kinds of goodies, Number four, going local means doing things other than just trying out avocado toast or eating the famous encebollada sopa, which is just tuna soup. We actually live local. Locals like to ask us two things. The first one is, how much do you pay in rent?
We've lived abroad 8 years and have never paid more than $300 for 4-bedroom houses. How do you like them apples?
things. The first one is, how much do you pay in rent? And after that, we tell them and they wiggle in their seat for a moment. Then they ask the $1,000,000 question. Oh, where do you live? It's like a favorite question, and we proudly tell them, oh, over there in the blah blah neighborhood. And it raises their eyebrows because clearly they know that's not an expat community. We let them know we prefer to live in the exclusive local enclaves, not just because we're going to pay less in rent, but because they're by far much safer. So we pay half the price in rent than all the other foreigners, plus we are many times over safer. Both of our landlords in Mexico didn't know a lick of English, so that tells you something. Our landlords in Ecuador didn't know English either. So on the other hand, if the thought of living in a local neighborhood scares you, you might want to reconsider living in that particular country. And in fact, this is a top priority criteria, that is, that you be very comfortable living in a local neighborhood in the country that you have chosen. Number 5. If we want to escape the label of rich American, or rich foreigner, or gringo, we have to show them we aren't rich Americans, and the best way to do that is by example. If the Americans are living in exclusive expat neighborhoods, that will breed resentment from the locals, and it also ends up making you a target. Just ask some of the folks that lived in Vilcabamba, Ecuador, or Chalabamba, Ecuador, or Boquete, Panama, or the latest now is in Costa Blanca, Spain, or Coronado, Panama. So not only does it breed resentment, but because there are so many so-called rich Americans or rich Britons living in one cluster of homes, it makes for great home invasions and robberies of these rich Americans. So bottom line is, living in an exclusive foreign enclave gives off the label of wealthy foreigner from the get-go, and it produces the very opposite effect of being in a so-called safer neighborhood. So in every country we've lived in, we chose not to live in these types of neighborhoods, and it works. We're just truthful with people. Just be yourself and be respectful and polite with people, even when they try to gringo you. And maybe you'll have some money saved at the end of the month. Then again, if you feel like you don't have time and find yourself frequently using the word, it's for convenience. Convenience. It could mean you're just too wealthy for that country. Yes, it's a thing. Do you think you're too rich for the country of your dreams or not? Let us know in the comments below. Take care, everyone, and stay safe and be blessed. Bye-bye.